Hey everyone, my name is Artuf and today we are talking about the reason why most teams in World of Tanks Blitz are bad. Now, Blitz can be a complicated game sometimes. It's totally normal to be confused when learning new things, no matter how experienced of a player one can be. But the problem is that when it comes to new players, said confusion will last far longer than it should. Not only does that make their experience less fun, but it also makes things less enjoyable for other players because, let's be honest, if you've played the game, then you've complained about the teams at some point. And I am not blaming newbies here. I am putting all the blame on Wargaming, and you will see why right after we take a look at the new players' experience in the game. To understand what's going on both in garage and in battle, new players have to rely completely on in-game tutorials, and unlike the PC version of the game, Blitz tutorials are far from being sufficient. They only teach the very basics and are very superficial at doing so. The newbies will then be placed in bot matchmaking and will fight bots for a few thousand battles. That could have been very useful if only there wasn't a huge difference between the bot matchmaking and the regular matchmaking. Players will feel very comfortable fighting bots and learn one of the two bad habits: over-aggressiveness, which leads to them rushing and dying early, or over-passiveness, which leads to them camping even when using heavy tanks.
I'm here, but you can't see me.
And by the end they won't even have an idea of some very important things like armor profiles, teamwork, map awareness, ammunitions, playstyles, modules, brand damage. Oof, I'm out of breath. You might be thinking, but Artuf, there is always the option of learning through YouTube videos.
Yes, but actually no. In fact,
how many players are willing to learn outside of the game? Some players are only playing for the fun of driving around and seeing tanks exploding. They don't care about winning, stats, or ratings, and with the way the game is becoming more and more kid-friendly, I don't think teams will get any better. But why do I keep putting the blame on Wargaming? It's because the team's problem is easily fixable. Wargaming just refuses to look into the problem because it brings them money, and they are going to do the same mistake in Reforged. They are doing a practice that's commonly used in free games. If a new player feels like he is bad at the game or can't have fun, then he will either quit, which is what most people do, or spend real money to get, let's say, an overpowered high-tier tank. Bigger booms, but not necessarily a better experience for him or his teammates. Which means the company benefits on the short term while hurting the game and the players on the long term.
I'm tired, boss.
So, what can be done? There is an easy solution, but I don't think Wargaming would like that. First thing would be adding a bunch of unskippable in-game tutorials to teach new players the basic game mechanics and maps. Something like the tutorials in War Thunder, or the stories in World of Tanks PC, which both are fun and very educational. As for the bot matchmaking, it should be kept, but the bots need to get reworked in a way that makes them increasingly more challenging depending on the amount of battles the player has. Not only would that help newbies get used to the game, but it will also make the bot matchmaking more fun. As, believe it or not, I've seen a decent amount of new players asking why their teammates and opponents are so weird.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Don't be racist. I am a building.
There should also be some mechanic to prevent players from getting premium and collector tanks before getting tech tree tanks of the same tier. Because it's honestly ridiculous how money can get players a tier 10 when they are barely out of the tutorial. That said, I believe it's also our responsibility as a community to help those who seem to not know what they are doing, either by telling them how to do things in chat or private messages, or by suggesting some YouTube videos that may help them, whether it's videos from this channel or other channels. Speaking about this channel, may I interest you in a button that says subscribe when you click on it.